Hello my sweeties and welcome back to my channel. If you don't already know me, my name is Elise and thank you for joining my spooky little family. In today's video, we will be reviewing Maxine. Let's get into the video. As you can tell in today's video, I am not in my studio. I am in the wilderness. It's very fitting. Look at my outfit. Slaying, right? So since Cornelius and I both saw Maxine in different places, we decided to talk about it on FaceTime. And now I am patiently waiting for him to answer my call, and he's taking his sweet time, as he usually does. Oh, hi, Corn.
Hey, Spooky. Hey, Corn. Oh, fuck you.
Okay, none of that.
Sorry. Anyway, so how are you, Spooky?
I'm doing good. I just saw Maxine.
Yeah, me too. Yeah, now I'm cooking up a little dinner here. I'm trying to make something a little in the spirit, but I'm not good at cooking. To be completely honest with you, I keep burning the steak.
Okay, and steak was the only option?
Yeah, because I'm a meat eater. Don't I look it? You don't see the guns under this tuxedo.
Wow.
And also because, I've been decomposing for about 600 years, but that's not the point. Anyway,
okay.
So tell us a little bit about Maxine before we get into it.
Directed by Ty West, starring Mia Goth, Elizabeth Debicki, Lily Collins, Halsey, Bobby Cannavale, and Kevin Bacon, Maxine follows adult film star and aspiring actress Maxine Minx, who finally gets her big break. But as a mysterious killer stalks the starlets of Hollywood, a trail of blood threatens to reveal her sinister past.
Woo!
Isn't my outfit, so fitting?
Snatched. Oh my God, serve and slay.
I'm truly slaying.
Emphasis on the slay part.
Exactly. But I've been throwing axes all weekend.
She has. I saw the video.
I was really bad at it. I could still fuck you up in a fight, though.
You got one, right?
Just one.
But I also think you got a score of one, right? Was that the...
Yeah, but you know what I actually have?
What?
These hands, so I don't need axes.
Yeah. So anyway, this has been one that we have been very excited for. What were your thoughts coming out of it?
So I have a lot of thoughts on Maxine. I've been very excited for the movie because obviously I loved X and I loved Pearl, and after hearing that Maxine had Giallo elements, I was very intrigued. But I also was a little on the fence because Giallo elements? Why not just go full Giallo?
Yeah, so I'm not gonna start negative. I am gonna start negative. That was not the worst part for me, right? Because I actually, funny enough, thought they did a great job with the Giallo homages. I actually, to be completely honest, didn't think it was gonna be that much Giallo. It was more Giallo than they played it up to be, even in the storytelling. You kind of expect when people say it's gonna be Giallo elements for them to, have the gloved killer and a scene where, the blood splatters in a certain way, or, the red lighting or some shit like that. But actually, it was kind of a Giallo down to the plot beats and everything. But only the first two acts, and then it falls apart.
Yeah, so let's talk about the positives of Maxine, because I do think that you definitely have to go see this one in the theater if you are a fan of X and Pearl. If you went hard for those movies, worth your time. I do think that this movie is going to be a little bit of a divisive situation, but let's talk about our performances. Of course, Mia Goth is amazing. I have no notes. I have no notes for Mia Goth ever. Mia Goth, the actress that you are. The actress that you are.
I thought first thing coming out of it was man, I want to see every movie with Mia Goth. I want to see every remake with Mia Goth. I want Mia Goth in everything. I want every commercial that comes up while I'm playing Candy Crush to star Mia Goth.
She knows how to pick her projects, and a phone ad is not one of them.
No, whatever. Anyway, point being is she's great, and I want to see her in everything. And she was phenomenal in Maxine.
Yeah. She was. But actually, I will say, even though she was incredible, I have to talk about Kevin Bacon, who I think is the standout performer in this movie, actually. So Kevin Bacon plays this very over-the-top, goofy, but still kind of scary detective. I feel like this detective character he's playing is very Giallo-esque. Actually, all of our detectives are very, like, in Giallo, which is why I was a little bit disappointed they didn't fully go in the Giallo route, because all the detectives just nail the comedic aspects and, like, have great dynamics with each other. Kevin Bacon, amazing. He feels like he's in a period piece. He feels like he studied and understood the assignment. Of course, Mia Goth understood the assignment, but Kevin Bacon is just amazing. And I haven't seen Kevin Bacon do something this weird in a while, and I'm really happy for him. I'm happy he's in a bigger horror movie this year, and yeah, he started in horror and he's still doing horror, so love that.
Yeah, he was phenomenal. To be completely honest, that was kind of the best part of the movie for me.
Like, one of the best parts, but I also have to give credit to Bobby Cannavale also, and Michelle Monaghan, who had great chemistry as the detectives.
Yes.
And Bobby Cannavale was very funny. He has some of my favorite lines in this movie, and also the George Hiltification of Bobby Cannavale in this movie, I very much appreciate as a Giallo stan. I do want to talk about one performance that I thought was very odd. Halsey's accent was taking me out. And I say this so respectfully.
Says every dead girl in Hollywood.
Yeah, it was too...
Who casted her? Oh,
it was too cartoonish. I don't know if that was the direction, but it was not good, and she's only on screen for a few minutes, so that was odd.
They make her seem like she's going to be a big part of the movie, too.
They do. I really liked Elizabeth Debicki. She was really great. She was giving Greta Gerwig. But she had some of my favorite lines too, and I did really like just overall her whole vibe. I think she really fit into the movie well, and she's just a great actress, so love her. I want to see her in more horror for sure.
Her character is kind of one note, you know, kind of girl boss, sassafras director, but she plays it so well and brings a certain humanity to it that even though it is a very shallow character, it feels like there's a lot of depth there. And now I know, after having briefly spoken to you about it, this is how you feel, but that's kind of the issue with the whole movie.
Yes, we're going to talk about that. So, unfortunately, I kind of wish Ty West maybe took more time with this movie. I know we've been waiting for a while for this movie, but he needed some help in the writing department. Unfortunately, Maxine, while it starts off really fun and bright and beautiful looking, obviously aesthetics are there, looks great. It's a movie that is left feeling really hollow with very little character development for Maxine. Mm-hmm. And this is a movie that is titled Maxine, so I was expecting character development the way that there was character development in Pearl, which is about Pearl. So Maxine feels like it's about too many things, and we don't get to see the things that are really important when it comes to Maxine. We end up being kind of in the middle of her life. All these things happen. She's well known in the adult industry now, and she wants to obviously be taken seriously as an actor and branch off into Hollywood. But we don't get to see a lot of the interesting things that happen to her. It feels weird. It feels just underdeveloped. It's very disappointing because after seeing X, Maxine was actually my favorite character, and I was most excited for her story. So, kind of upsetting. I feel like the movie focuses on aesthetics. It focuses on the Giallo elements. You know, Ty West clearly wanted to make 3 different kind of movies, 3 different eras. I respect it. I respect the vision. But we need a story also. We need character development also. And I think really where the movie falls apart is the 3rd act. I got a bug on me. The 3rd act falls apart. We start off really fun moments. The Giallo moments start right away.
Yeah.
So I love that. We obviously have the fashionable glove killer, and he looks great. There's a lot of Giallo-esque kills that look great. The lighting is Giallo. It all looks great.
It was a Giallo greatest hits, honestly.
Yeah, it all looks like a really great modern Giallo. But all Giallos, even the ones that are ridiculous, we still kind of have a story.
Yeah.
So this story just feels very muddled. Things started getting real weird. The third act, when you find out the reveal of the killer, I wasn't sure if they were going for like very ridiculous camp Giallo because the reveal was so ridiculous. And just like, I was like, who is that?
Well, you know, for me, what was kind of frustrating was like, we're setting up this whole story. And the first two acts, they have a lot going on, don't get me wrong. But there's a pretty clear A and B plot and maybe a kind of a clear C and D and E and F plot as well, but that's a different story. But it all kind of just falls apart as soon as we get to that third act. And that third act, woo! Oh my God, that third act flies, dude. Every important story beat. To be fair, I kind of felt like
Whoa.
okay.
I don't know who that is, but he's pretty mad.
Can you tell him quiet on the set? I'm trying to speak here.
Yeah, can you calm down? Like,
So the thing that kind of annoyed me about it was it felt like Ty West forgot. After the first hour and a half, he forgot that he set up this really interesting cult backstory for Maxine. And then we just speed run this plot line that completely wipes out all the other stuff going on and kind of makes everybody else feel inconsequential. I don't know. It just was kind of a bummer for a movie that, in my opinion, as I told you, the first two acts was kind of like some of the best Neo Giallo content we've had in a long time. Obviously, Knife Plus Heart was great, but I'm not talking about Knife Plus Heart. But it was great. Like, I was liking it, even though there were some things that were a little corny, you know?
yeah, I mean, yeah. They slayed in the Giallo department. I appreciate it. But I'm definitely left unsatisfied. I wish that the film actually just went full Giallo. It feels like they were juggling a lot of different genres. Like, we're 80s, we're modern, we're kind of Giallo. And it just kind of feels a little bit like too much of a mashup for me that ultimately like doesn't really work. And I think it ultimately doesn't work, especially with the reveal and the ending. I really think that the reveal of the killer and the ending is really corny.
Yeah.
And it just feels very underdeveloped. I really have nothing else to say other than that. It's disappointing. It's a movie that kind of leaves you like, wow, that's the end. This is a trilogy that everyone was like, oh my God, if this is good. Ty West just did it and like did 3 great movies. And while this is not a bad movie, I don't think it's a bad movie.
No.
I was not pleased.
It's really hard to say anything without spoiling.
Yeah, we don't plan on doing
Yeah.
any spoilers since the movie really just came out.
You said this too. I was just so disappointed by Maxine's characterization. Like, it's just such a bleak and like kind of like surface level theme. Like, what?
It is.
Nothing matters, and it's just like you
Yeah.
just do whatever it takes to be famous.
Yeah, I actually said this after I got out of the theater. Her character is just, I don't know, is this a character that just has no feelings? Because they really just act like she's this badass character that is like a no-nonsense person that's been through some shit, and she has been. But for her to kind of not really care too much, I mean, obviously we get a few moments where you can see she cares about people. And even then, the character feels very empty. And it's unfortunate. I think that Pearl feels like a more fleshed out character. And Pearl was just one movie. To see Maxine come back and not be as fleshed out is very disappointing. I think that Ty West needed a little bit more time with this one. When it comes to the writing, everything else gorgeous. He did a great job, casted everybody really well, but
He needed Mia Goth in the writing room. What is going on? It's just such a lazy characterization. And honestly, in my opinion, I'm not going to go too deep into it because we're not spoiling shit. It's kind of just lazy, like, ideology of the film, quote unquote, you know?
It very much is. I think that Ty West just didn't know what to do with her. I think he was, I don't know, focused on other aspects.
And, you know, for me, what was really corny is just the whole, like, ooh, Hollywood is bad. The seedy underbelly of Hollywood. Yes, I've seen a movie before. Yes, I know Hollywood and the film industry is very bad. You're not saying anything new just because you're trying to make it seem hyper intelligent. Like, it's the same thing that a million other people say.
It's very unfortunate that this is the end of the trilogy. I wish there was more, but at the same time, I'm kind of glad that they're packing it up.
Yeah.
I'm excited still to see what Ty West has in store for us.
Definitely.
I think he's a good director. I think he needs some help in the writing department. I would love to see him and Mia Goth write something again in the future outside of this. They're a great duo, but this movie did leave me very, very unsatisfied. And I'm a Giallo lover. Obviously, if you've been here, you know I'm obsessed with Jolly, but just because it has Giallo elements doesn't mean I think the movie is that good.
So, man, this sucked. Sucked to talk, I have to say this about this movie, but what are you giving this one?
I think I am going to be giving Maxine 3 levs out of 5. I think it's not a bad movie. I think it's kind of just okay. And I think if it wasn't for the third act flopping the way it did, the movie would have been great. And this is just kind of a so-so. It's good to throw on. Yeah. It's good to see Mia Goth be a bad bitch.
That she is.
And it's good to see Kevin Bacon be crazy.
Solid. You know, this is like happening a lot lately, but I'm actually going to be giving Maxine 3 levs out of 5 as well.
Oh.
You know, I think it's only as bad as it was for me because of how good the other 2 movies were. Otherwise, it really is just a kind of a mid-horror movie. As we've said before, and it's kind of hard to say anything without spoiling, beautiful, great acting. It was certainly a well-made film. And, you know, I really think it was just kind of a problem in the writer's room. But overall, it was definitely not a bad film. And it was at least exciting to see in the theaters.
It was.
Oh, and no more 80s shit. It's over. How many times I gotta say this? I
say
this all the time.
The 80s is doing too much.
Oh.
The 80s is doing too much. I think we need to let the nostalgia go.
Yes.
We need to let it go. That's it. I hope you all go check out Maxine. I think you definitely should if you liked the other 2 films. That is it for today's video. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe as it really helps me a lot. And be sure to click that little notification bell to be up to date every single time I upload. And let me know in the comments if you like this film. Did this satisfy you? What was your favorite Giallo moment in the film? I'd love to talk about it. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye. Bye, Cornelius. Bye.
Bye.